Hi, welcome to English 219, Technical and Professional Writing. My name is Elizabeth Benedict and I will be your instructor this semester. So this video is just to walk you through the course and different things you should be expecting out of projects and just general course expectations. So let's go ahead and get started. Over the course of the semester, we're going to explore a variety of genres, techniques, and technologies that are all going to work towards helping you sharpen your professional writing skills. Some of these things include composing documents for the workplace and professional situations, such as such documents are going to include letters, emails, reports, presentations, and a ton more that I can't even list all at once here. We will also be considering ethics as they relate to communication in the workplace. Early on in the semester, we will think about ethics as they directly relate to the words on the page and who will read them. We will also talk about writing for multicultural and diverse audiences. Your audience will vary from assignment to assignment, and your audience is up to you, but you are going to have to consider your readers' various backgrounds and situations as you're composing these various documents. We will also be working with a team. While there's no direct team project, there is going to be a constant dialogue with your peers in the form of discussion boards. This is a learned tool that we are going to be using on a weekly basis. These will be used in various activities to help you better understand the material, as well as peer reviews where you're going to help each other better your own works before you turn in your final drafts. And lastly, we are going to be utilizing technology. This online environment already encourages more technology, but we will also use other technologies and programs to make our documents more multimodal and diverse in nature. We're going to get to that soon though, so if you're a little worried about that, there will be more clarification. So, 219 course expectations, I have just a few of them, but they are really crucial if we are going to have a successful semester. So the first main thing is access to a computer and the internet. If you don't have a reliable internet or a reliable computer, then take a look at that broadband map that I emailed out earlier. And I have it on Learn as well, where you can go ahead and plug in your zip code and see where a computer or reliable internet is next to you, mostly in the form of public libraries and different universities and community centers. Also, be sure to check your email at least once a day. This is really important, especially when I'm making course announcements or general things about different assignments, or if I'm emailing you directly. It's really important to check your email. If you do not check your UNM email, let me know which one you check all the time, but it is really important to have this professional email, so I will be emailing you through the UNM one. But if for whatever reason you do not check that, please let me know as soon as possible, because I do use email to try contacting you all. Also, it's important to have respect for our classmates and others on the web. This is a completely online environment. There will be no face-to-face interactions unless you come meet during office hours or we do different Skype sessions. So it's really important to have this respect and etiquette as I talked about in the syllabus. So if this is unfamiliar to you, please go ahead and review that section as well. But this is all just really important for creating this very welcoming online environment. Lastly, it's expected that you have a strong work ethic. Since this is an online course, you are going to be expected to do a lot of stuff on your own. I will, of course, be here for constant support. You have your peers, and you also have an instructional assistant, Daniel, so you have plenty of people to come to if you have any questions, but you should also be motivated to be starting these assignments on yourself and on your own, since we do not have any face-to-face instruction. But again, if you're struggling with anything, feel free to email and we'll be sure to go through everything. But it is kind of important to have a strong work ethic and get things done since you don't have those day-to-day reminders when you're in the face-to-face class. So, the discussion board. As I mentioned before, we are going to be working in a team environment. Discussion boards are a major form of communication for this class. Some things to consider as we're using the discussion boards to complete various activities and peer reviews is to be sure to check all your due dates and post in a timely manner. This is crucial. Not only are you graded on post, but your peers rely on you posting so they can respond to you by the next day to keep this conversation going. You're not just going to post to the void and have nothing respond. There is going to be a constant conversation, so it's really important that you get your post up there so somebody can reply. Typically, the first post will be posted by Wednesday at midnight, and your peers will respond by Friday at midnight. These days, of course, subject to change, but we are going to typically be on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Speaking of responses, you should wait to respond until the next day. Responses rely on the fact that everyone has posted, so it's crucial that you give your peers ample time to post and wait to respond until that next day. Of course, you will have until the following day at midnight to do it. There will be constant due dates, so you do know when to post and when to respond by, but definitely give them at least up until that midnight deadline to post and not anything earlier. And of course, it's important that you are kind, thorough, and thoughtful with all posts and responses. The online environment should be a welcoming one with no disrespect to one another. And we want to make sure the things that we are posting are really thorough and thoughtful and seem like something that should be said, not just a couple of words or sentences, but something that actually brings meaning to the post and creates a discussion. So I want to go ahead and move on to our projects that are going to be completed over the course of the semester. We have 3 major projects, not including the final portfolio or our starter small project. I will be going through all of those very briefly so you have an idea of the kinds of documents that we will be composing over this 16-week course. So Project Zero is for the first 4 weeks or 3 weeks of class, and this is going to center around workplace communication. This is in the form of letters, emails, memos, and also a discussion of ethics. This is kind of our starter project as we're all entering into the online class, still trying to familiarize ourselves with Learn and the online environment. So the posts and the small writing assignment that's associated with this are relatively low in the points as in that whole scale of the semester, but are still really crucial as we're all getting used to this. Our first major project is going to be the electronic job portfolio. This is where you're going to be coming up with an e-portfolio for yourself that you could give out to prospective employers if this was something that was of interest to you. On here will be your resume, cover letter, and a short bio about yourself. This will also be the framework for our final project, which I'll go into a little bit of detail later. Our second project is a proposal. If you haven't written a proposal before, it's where you are addressing a problem and offering a solution with clear steps, writing to a specific audience who has the means to fund this project. This is going to be an individual project where you are going to be addressing a problem in Albuquerque or at UNM in general. Our third project is going to be an analytical report in the form of a recommendation report. We'll notice some similarities here with the proposal, but these are 2 very different genres. This one is a very research-heavy genre and document in general, but we are going to be easing into this and developing all of our research techniques before we move into it. Our last project, our final one, is the final portfolio. So we'll be returning back to that e-portfolio format, our platform, and you're going to be hosting 2 revised versions of your other assignments up there to show off your writing capabilities. So these will be samples of your work that you could show to prospective employers. So as I mentioned before, multimodality is a huge part of this class. More generally, if you're not familiar with the term, multimodality is working with more than one mode. So in a composition class like professional writing, you'd be integrating more than just words on the page to your writing. Even if it's not direct writing on the page, it's still a way of communicating with your readers. So I want to go ahead and move through a couple of quick examples so you are familiar with the term. You've seen all these on a day-to-day basis, I am sure. So hopefully this will click to you right away. One example of a multimodal component would be a podcast. So integrating just your voice and maybe some other sound effects or music to the situation. This is still a form of communication. We see this all the time on radio news like NPR or BBC Radio. Also on individual podcasts that you could find on iTunes. Another form of multimodality is in the form of presentations. This is, usually given in front of an audience, big or small, and depends on the situation, professional or academic. But this integrates different visual effects, your own voice, yourself presenting, and the actual material you're presenting on, usually a much larger document condensed into something that you're breaking down. Another example would be PSAs, or public service announcements. We can see these in the form of posters or even radio broadcasts. This example here is a poster where we're seeing obviously visual elements and words on the page. Obviously not a huge slew of words, but a small amount that still has a very large impact. We can also see these, or any form of multimodality in the form of brochures, newsletters, websites. We're going to be walking through each of these and having various examples of things you could do for each of these assignments. So the big thing with 219 is preparing you for real-world writing experiences. Excuse me. This course is meant to help you prepare for life outside of this particular classroom. So whether it be future college classes that you're going to be taking or the professional world in general. Some key skills that we're going to hopefully take away include, of course, teamwork, research, composition, and design. All of these are going to be integrated into each document that we produce in each project, and it's really important that you take away a lot of these skills, and I think that it will come to terms with that. That's the end of this welcome video. I hope it's going to clarify some things for you. If you have any questions, feel free to post them to the Writers Lounge so everybody can see them, and I will respond, or you can email me directly. Remember to finish going through all the Start Here materials and check the Project Zero Week 1 folder for more information on what's due this week. All right, goodbye.